You know what it takes to be #1. At State Farm, so do we.
It's definitely a little bit of a different college experience, but I think in the end we might miss out on some things that a lot of regular college students have, but the benefits we get from it are just outstanding, and I think outweigh by far what we miss out.
Okay, clear mark.
I definitely recognize that it's a lot of work, and being in my 5th year here, I will admit it definitely takes its toll, and it's just a lot getting up every morning and always staying focused, always going into practice and knowing you have to work as hard as you can. And so I think that's why all of our teammates have so much respect for one another, because we're kind of the only people on grounds that really understand exactly the nature of the sport. It's not just getting up at 5:30 in the morning, but it's practicing hard. It's really killing yourself for 2 hours in the morning and then 2 hours in the afternoon. I think the way Mark does things works perfectly for me and for just about everybody here at UVA. He keeps us motivated. He a lot of times keeps the mood very light at practice, but he's not afraid to let us know when we're not holding up our end of the bargain.
You have to be somebody that can, relate to people on the team, to pull them in, to be personal with them, and at the same time let them know that there's a time when we need to get the job done. I mean, his face is completely different prior to a swim meet when we're all in the huddle. We're talking about what we need to do. He's very serious. His demeanor is very serious. But at the same time, when we leave the pool that day, it's almost all laughs and I'm your friend now. I'm your captain at the pool. I'm your friend at the same time.
Pat Mellors and Coach Mark talked about the idea of him redshirting and spending a whole year focusing all of his attention on doing the best he possibly could at Olympic trials. And Pat came to me and said, I would love it if you went through this whole process with me.
It was my idea before we even swam at the spring championships, my 3rd year, his 3rd year as well. And I guess I had always thought that, no matter how I performed over the first 3 years of my career, that there was a possibility that I wanted to redshirt my 4th year. And so I approached him with the same opportunity, kind of, and asked him if he would be willing to do the same thing.
I think what kind of sold me on it was that I knew that it would be the only chance I really had to give my best shot at making an Olympic team, to doing the best that I really could at Olympic trials. And if I were to be competing with the team all year long last year, I think that I might have sold myself short on doing the best I could at trials. We went to Bangkok. The competition was huge. It was the first time I'd been a part of a real U.S. national team. So it was kind of a point for me where I really wanted to make a statement as a member of USA Swimming, representing our country. And I knew that I was capable of medaling, and so I really just was focused on having a big swim and was able to drop a couple seconds, and I was very happy with my 2nd place.
I'd say he takes what he's doing in the classroom pretty seriously. He made the decision, and I didn't think that I could do it last year, and I didn't do it, to graduate in 4 years and then get his master's. So that was an extremely demanding program that he was on, to graduate last year and be redshirting and training full-time. And then to be a master's student this year, I think, takes a lot of guts to do that academically and to take on that challenge.
I finished my undergrad in the spring in government, and this year I'm in the Social Foundations program in Curry. It's kind of interesting coming from like a government background, being able to look at education as kind of like a case study and seeing how it fits in our society. And
he's traveled internationally. He's been to the NCAA meet 3 or 4 times. Actually, every year that he's been swimming here, he's been to the NCAAs. So he really realizes that ACCs is really important, but NCAAs is so important, and that for so long we've been trying to become a top 10 team, and that this year is finally the year that we're going to do it. And I think he's reminding people of that that's an aspect of our goals.